Hello, my name is Megan Brown, but on YouTube I am known as Crazy Girl in Black. I am 19 years old and live in Ontario, Canada. And today I'm going to tell you about my vape story and as well as my parents. My family has, or is, what you can consider generational smokers. Ever since cigarettes were first invented or tobacco burning products were first invented, we have been smoking, and every single generation after generation has picked up the habit of smoking, whether it's through a pipe or a regular cigarette. We end up smoking tobacco. My grandmother on my mother's side has been smoking or was smoking since she was young, and she is no longer with us because she smoked. And she didn't smoke the filtered cigarettes, she smoked the non-filtered, so she got everything. She died in our house a few days after New Year's. She was brought to the hospital. They tried to bring her back, but she was basically brain dead for 2 days until they basically pulled the plug. And in those 2 days, they took tubes down to her lungs to try and suck out all the guck that was in there. And they were trying to help her breathe, but she couldn't, and she never woke up. I never want my children or my grandchildren to see me there, lying in a hospital bed, getting guck sucked out of my lungs through a tube, no less. Not only that, she looked like she was in an extreme amount of pain, even though she was unconscious. You could see her hands just move along to try and stop the nurse from doing what she was doing. I don't want that to happen to me, and I don't want my loved ones to see me like that. My parents have been smoking since they were young, around their teens, and they're in their late 60s now. I gave them a vape a few months ago, and they haven't touched a single cigarette since. And for my parents, ever since they started vaping, they've been able to breathe better, they've been able to actually walk upstairs without coughing or catching their breath. They've been able to breathe so much better. They've told me that they can taste things that they haven't tasted in years because they don't have the guck and the tobacco and all that disgusting stuff hogging up all their senses. Ever since my parents have started vaping, they have cut down on it quite a bit. My dad used to vape every hour, half hour or so. Now he's basically vaping 3 times a day. Now, to my story, since I wanted to pick up the habit of smoking cigarettes. I never really want to admit that, but it's something that needs to be said. Due to the fact that e-cigarettes were around at this point in time, I used those instead. It was a healthier alternative. I actually knew what was in them. Instead of smoking thousands of dangerous and extremely deadly chemicals, I was vaping three or in some cases 4 chemicals. And these chemicals are not deadly in any kind of way. Some of the chemicals are even used in asthma inhalers, so they are not dangerous. If vaping wasn't around or even existed, I would be smoking cigarettes right now. I would be putting toxins and unknown chemicals into my lungs. Vaping has no doubt stopped me from making one of the worst life decisions that I could make at the age that I'm at. I have been vaping for 9 months. I'm actually really glad that I started. I don't regret it at all. I do what needs to be done to help others to quit smoking as well. I take them to the local vape shop. They explain everything. I'm out advocating for our rights as vapers, as well as showing people the truth about vaping.